Hello James, we're going for a walk. Now James, you might be wondering, Will, why have you booked a Wednesday morning off to go for a walk with your guitar? And the answer is because I'm quite a weird guitarist, James. Listen to the birds. Good birds. So the majority of people, when you ask them how they like their guitar set up, will say, I want the strings to be as low as possible without them slapping against the fretboard. And that generally is the case for all guitarists. I'm weird though. Now I think I can trace this back to the thing that I said in my first video about when I first started playing electric guitar and wasn't aware that I was allowed to plug it into an amp. So I had to hit the strings really hard to get any kind of sound that I could hear. And that's just kind of turned into me having a style of play where I just whack the strings, James. I was at an open mic night at a pub that no longer exists in Cannon Street in London a few years ago, and I played my set. I was hitting the strings good and hard like I normally do. I came off stage and the guy was like, well, I hope you don't treat your girlfriend like you treat your guitar. And I said, why? I don't have a girlfriend. He said, well, I'm not surprised if you play guitar like that in front of girls. When you hit the strings that hard, chances are they're going to be vibrating in such a way that they hit against the fretboard. And you don't want that. You don't want slappy fretboards. That's not what you need. Oh, this is wet grass. So, as a result, I've gravitated towards having higher and higher action, which in some ways makes things harder to play. And that's the reason why most people don't like it, but I really like it. It just makes things feel nicer to me. Good bit of bite to them. Oh, I'm so out of breath. One of the weird side effects of lockdown is I don't normally have to walk around carrying a heavy guitar case anymore. I'm now really out of shape with it. God, let's have a quick pause here. So the frequency that a string vibrates at, James, as you well know, students of the subject need not be reminded that the frequency that a string vibrates at is a function of its mass and its tension. And if you change the tension of a string, it changes the note. That's just how the maths works. I'm not a maths man, but that's how it works, apparently, I've been told, you know. But there's this other thing called perceived tension. Sometimes it's called compliance. I get confused by the word compliance because I can't tell if I like high compliance or low compliance. I just don't know. So perceived tension is the thing. So it's how tight do the strings feel to play. And a lot of guitarists play on really, really low gauge strings. They like good bendy strings that you can do double octave bends and stuff on. And I like really, really high perceived tension. Which brings me to my Maton. My Maton I've had for a few years and it's never quite felt right. And it's been a bit of a kind of thing of, well, I spent nearly £2,000 on it, so I'm gonna do my best to be happy with what I've got. And it's been in and out of luthiers a couple of times being set up. And I've realised that every time it's been set up for a guitarist who isn't me. And actually, I need it to be set up for me. I'll give you a little demonstration of the difference between this and my other main acoustic, my Taylor Big Baby. So this is my Taylor Big Baby. I've had it for some years and it's set up just the way I like it. It's got really nice thick 13 gauge Elixir strings on it. The action is quite high and I like to play it with a nice thick plectrum like this 1.14mm Fender pick. From Corona, California. Excellent, wonderful. And it's just got a really nice bite to it. I don't know if that's going to come through on the recording, but yeah, it's a bit like. It's got a really, really nice, just like you hit the strings, you feel the response of the strings, and they There's no flamminess, there's no flappiness or flabbiness to it. Lots of flatiness. There's none of that to it. It's just really responsive. So that's the Taylor Big Baby. Big Baby. In contrast, this is the Maton M80, which I've had for fewer years than that, and it's significantly more expensive. Same 13 gauge strings on it, same pick, and it's just set up lower, set up much closer to how people generally like to have it, and it just doesn't have that bite. And again, I've got no idea if that's going to come through on here, but here we go. So it just, if you probably heard me like messing up on the rolls there. It just doesn't have that same. It's almost like you get caught on the strings. It doesn't have that same response, that same perceived tension to it, or any of that bite, and it's just a bit floppy, just a bit flaccid. It's a flaccid guitar, James. That's what it is. And I've actually just found the notes that this luthier made last time. So he took some measurements of the Taylor, the Big Baby, to compare to the Maton for last time, and he didn't quite go as far as matching them, but he measures things in 32ths of an inch, apparently. And apparently most people like their string action to be like 1.5 to 2.5 32ths of an inch from the top of the fret at the 12th fret, and the Taylor is set at 4.5 and 3.5. So you can see the difference there. So I'd be interested to know if you're able to measure what your action is on your favourite acoustics there, James. So it comes down to the action on this guitar has always been set too low. Or at least that's what I hope. And I'm hoping that there's going to be a sweet spot that I can find by raising it up just a little bit. And then it'll be back to being my dream guitar again. Oh, squirrel! I'm walking because the guitar tech that I'm going to go and visit, a man called John Dickinson, he made some amplifiers for Matt Bellamy of Muse fame. He is based in Antenna Studios in Crystal Palace, and it's a short, 25-minute walk from my flat, and I get to walk through this nice park. So there you go, beats taking the bus, and also beats trying to cycle up a hill with this thing, which I could do. If I was really, really dedicated, I could. I won't though. Hello again, James. It's tomorrow now, and keep up. Come on. So I dropped off the guitar at Antenna Studios. I actually arrived basically at the exact moment that he arrived, which was good timing. And then popped off to the cinema to watch Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ooh. And Shang-Chi was really good. I decided to go at, it was a 10 a.m. showing on a weekday during school term time, so it was completely empty. I think it was me and 3 other people. The first time I've been to the cinema since December 2019. So, had a nice time with that. James, I can confirm that you are indeed a blueser. I am not a blueser, I'm just a regular loser. And yeah, I think that's about it from me this week. Hopefully by the next time I post, so in 2 weeks' time, I will have the Maton back and I'll be able to demonstrate how wonderful it is. And if it's not wonderful, then how upset I will be at the crushing disappointment and realisation that I will probably need to sell it and get a different guitar. But we'll see how all that goes. Refer you back to all the stuff I said in my first video. I want to hear about how you got started playing guitar. And yeah, I will see you next week, James. Have a good one.